Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me for Brahma Viharas Loving Kindness for Our Loved Ones. And so today will be primarily a guided meditation practice. I'll give a little bit of instruction, but yesterday's episode I really went into great detail on some of the benefits of this type of practice, why we do this practice, and some of the instructions as well. If you missed that, no worries. This will still be of benefit to you, but if you are interested, you might want to go back at a later time and check out yesterday's episode to get a really thorough overview of sending loving kindness to others. Now, I will give just a few brief instructions. We'll go into the meditation practice and then we'll close. So that's the bulk of the episode today. So here we are, we'll come into the silence of meditation. I'll guide us into the present moment awareness, using as entryways into the present moment the sensations of the breathing, sensations of the body, the sounds of the present moment. And then after we've grounded ourselves or grounded our awareness into the present moment experience, we'll then offer phrases of loving kindness first to our own heart. And we just kind of go briefly through the phrases for ourselves as a kind of a way of touching in with loving kindness, getting the warmth to flow, so to speak. And then we will visualize a loved one. Now, I mentioned this yesterday, but just at risk of repetition, the loved one that we select for this practice ideally isn't a loved one that we have a romantic relationship with. We want to avoid any sort of entanglements with desire during loving kindness practice. And I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow. I received some really interesting questions about the topic of desire, so I'm going to go into that a little bit tomorrow in my Q&A session. Okay, so here, pick a loved one or someone that you're very fond of, a close friend. It can be a family member, could even be a pet. That's fine too. Any being that you feel very fond of or have this close, heartfelt relationship with. And then we'll offer these phrases of loving kindness as if we were offering the most precious, rare gift. So offering these phrases of loving kindness to our loved one's heart as an act of generosity. And then we visualize them or imagine them bringing those phrases into their heart, and then what their life would look or feel like if those phrases were completely reflective of their life circumstances. So the first phrase, for example, may you be happy. Visualizing our family member or our loved one completely happy, 100% happy for their entire life. Now there might be some resistances to the phrase. Your mind might think, well, that's impossible, that'll never happen. Those are resistances, or you might get tensed up. Your body might contract, or you might get distracted, quite distracted or sleepy or spaced out. Those are all forms of resistance to the loving kindness practice. So we don't try to change that. That's not a bad thing, but we just notice it. We just pay attention to how we close ourselves off to loving kindness. We might have an opening, a relaxing kind of experience, a warmth, a flow to each phrase. If that happens, that's an opening. Just pay attention to that as well. Again, there's no wrong or right to either opening or closing. We're just noticing how we respond and react to each of the phrases. There might not be any experience at all. It might be kind of a just nothing happening there. That's fine too. What is going on there actually is that we're planting the seeds of loving kindness. So maybe there's no reaction or no response to the phrase. The seeds are being planted for future experiences where those seeds will actually begin to bear fruit. So the only way to do loving kindness incorrectly is not to do it at all. Because opening, good; closing down, good; no response, also good. Like that. So that's good news. So we'll do the phrases for roughly about 12 minutes or so. Then we'll briefly come back to the present moment. So I think of it as like a sandwich where maybe I'm hungry, I don't know. We do present moment awareness. Then we do the meat of the sandwich, or if you're vegan, the lettuce of the sandwich is the loving kindness phrases, where we bring them to ourselves quickly and then to our loved one. Then the other sandwich side, the bread, coming back to the present moment, like that. Okay. By the way, if there are any questions or comments that do come up, I am doing a Q&A session tomorrow, as I briefly mentioned, and I have a couple of really interesting questions to address tomorrow, but there's always room for more. So if you'd like anything talked about, anything addressed, any questions answered, please do send those over through the comments or through Messenger, and I'll get to those maybe tomorrow or at the next Q&A. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to say about that. So enjoy this loving kindness for others practice. So allowing the body, mind, and heart to rest. Just coming into this present moment experience. Noticing the sensations of the breath, entering and leaving the nose. Noticing the breath as it touches the back of the throat. Perhaps noticing the temperature changing from cooler to warmer at the nose and the back of the throat as you breathe in and breathe out. You might also notice the rib cage expanding and contracting with each breath. There might be sensations of clothing moving to adjust with the rising and falling of the shoulders, chest, and abdomen as you breathe in and breathe out. And you might also notice the back moving out as you breathe in as you breathe out. Noticing the shoulders rising and falling with each breath. You might also notice the body straightening up slightly on the in-breath and leaning forward slightly on the out-breath. And while resting there with the experience of breathing, noticing sensations of clothing against the shoulders, the arms resting against the body, noticing the hands resting against the body or touching each other. You might also notice sensations of clothing against the back, the weight of the body against the cushion or chair, mat or floor. sensations of clothing against the leg, and the feet against the mat or the floor. And you might also notice sensations arising from the back of the neck, sensations arising in the cheeks of the face, there might also be sensations arising from the top of the head, and while resting with the present moment experience of the breath and the body, you might also notice the sounds of the present moment. You might be able to hear a conversation nearby, or perhaps there's a sound of a car or a motorbike passing. There might be a neighbor's television or music, perhaps a bird song or crickets. Not focusing on any one sound in particular, but noticing the entire field of sound. Hearing all of the sounds all at the same time, as if you were listening to the soundtrack of the present moment. Noticing the silence of the present moment, that silent space which surrounds each sound. And we'll rest right there just for a few moments, resting with this present moment experience. Sensations of the breath, the body, sound and silence, and just rest. And while resting in this present moment experience, we'll begin offering these very precious phrases of loving kindness to our own heart, as if we were bringing our heart the most precious, rare gift. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live a life of peace without struggle. May I open to things just as they are. May I experience the world opening to me just as I am. May I welcome whatever arises. And now, while breathing in and breathing out, allowing a visualization of a loved one to arise in your mind's eye. And if you can visualize this person clearly in your mind's eye, that's good. If visualization is difficult for you, you might just say your loved one's name a few times, perhaps getting a feel for their presence. Either method works. And we'll begin offering these very precious gifts of loving kindness to our loved one's heart. And after each phrase, we'll spend a minute or so visualizing or imagining what their life would look or feel like if each phrase was completely reflective of their life circumstance. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live a life of peace without struggle. May you open to things just as they are. May you experience the world opening to you just as you are. May you welcome whatever arises. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live a life of peace without struggle. May you open to things just as they are. May you experience the world opening to you just as you are. May you welcome whatever arises. And breathing in and breathing out, allowing any visualizations in the mind's eye to dissolve. You can let those fade back into the open, spacious awareness from which they came. Bringing attention and awareness to the sound of the present moment experience. Noticing any sounds which might be arising within your awareness. And also notice the silence of awareness itself. And while resting with the sounds and silence, noticing the sensations of feet against the mat or the floor, sensations of clothing against the legs. You might notice sensations of the body against the chair, mat, cushion, or floor. There might be sensations of clothing against the back. You might also notice sensations of hands resting against the body or touching each other. The arms resting against the body. There might be sensations of clothing against the shoulders. And you might also notice any sensations arising from the back of the neck, sensations arising throughout the cheeks of the face, the lips and the nose, the eyes and the forehead. Noticing any sensations arising from the very top of the head. And while resting there with the sounds and silence, sensations arising throughout the body, you might also notice the breath as it enters and leaves the nose, the breath touching the back of the throat, perhaps noticing the rib cage expanding and contracting with each breath, the rising and falling of the abdomen as you inhale and exhale. Noticing the back moving out as you breathe in and in as you breathe out. The shoulders rising and falling with each breath. And we'll rest right there just for a few moments, resting in this present moment experience. Silence and sound, sensations of body and breath, and just rest. So that was a guided meditation on loving kindness for our loved ones. And again, there might be an opening to the phrases, a closing down or a resistance. There may be no response or very little response to each phrase. Again, we're not trying to change any of that or alter it. We're just noticing how we respond and react to loving kindness to ourselves, and then when we offer it to a loved one. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm not going to speak too much other than the guided meditation today. I will be back tomorrow at the same time with a Q&A session / talk. And again on the same topic, loving kindness for ourselves, for loved ones, and then I'll talk about loving kindness for other people as well. Stay safe, stay clean, stay healthy. Keep your immune system activated and strong. Wear your masks, practice your social distancing when you can, and we'll get through all of this together. Much love, much light. Thank you. Ring the bell and make it official.